Well, just finished watching The Joker, and since we were on this black pill theme, or I have been on this black pill theme, people wanted me to give my thoughts on the new film, The Joker, which we could tell by the trailers that it was going to be black pill is going to be pretty dark. And it was, as advertised, it was probably even darker than the trailers actually let on. The script probably will be studied for a while. And the questions left in the film will be bandied back and forth since the end of The Sopranos. The very last episode of Sopranos is still being bandied back and forth some almost 20 years later. A lot of the loose ends that this film left unanswered, probably purposely, probably will be discussed for years on end. But I think that even though they tried to lighten this film with humor, it is a incredibly dark comedy. This is what the old-fashioned comic books used to be like before they put superheroes in it to kind of lighten it up. And I think this probably would make a very good graphic novel because of the psychological drama that goes on in this film. I think Joaquin Phoenix does a very good job of actually getting into the character of the film. You know, Joker is one of those odd characters that just don't fit, in comic book lore. He, like Batman, because they don't have any superpowers and could be ordinary human beings, are always intriguing character studies, especially these two, because everybody can see their connected nature. So while I can't give any spoilers, so I can't really get into any kind of character sketches or deep analysis of the character, or even the story, because you can't do that without telling, I'd give away way too much. Especially the main theme that runs through the whole film, even though I will give you a hint. There's a reason that Arthur has to check the mailbox every day when he comes home. That's the only spoiler you're going to get. And that thread drives the plot of the whole film. It's the underlying, or I should say the backbone of the whole film, is that question. And even at the very end, the question never gets completely answered. But they tried their best to lighten up a horribly dark film. It could have been even darker than it was. And I think the interludes gave people a break from the tragedy that kept coming in this particular film, to keep people from going too far down that dark path. But I think it was the last Christopher Nolan Batman film with Bane and the young lady, the lady that actually came in to destroy Gotham. And it's something that Bane said. Bane said that he was born in darkness. He was born in the abyss. The same can be said with Arthur Fleck, who's the Joker. He's born in the abyss. He was born in the abyss, maybe even conceived in the abyss. And what happens when the abyss tries to spit you out, even though you try to embrace it? That was happening in this film. The abyss kept trying to spit Arthur out, because even the abyss didn't want Arthur. And Arthur desperately wanted to be embraced by something. Throughout the whole film, Arthur wanted to be embraced by something, and nothing would embrace him. Even the abyss that tried to swallow him up kept spitting him back out. Until the point where he decided that he was just going to turn into the Joker as a way to make sense of his insanity, and not giving too much away. You keep seeing or keep thinking that this dude that's going to become the Joker is just having a bad day or having a bad run of luck, that his life choice was just a matter of an unfortunate circumstance. And the deeper you get into it, the more that you see that it's not. This particular Joker is extremely dark, and all the archetypes that they put into this particular film are very dark. There are no good characters, save for one, in this whole entire film, save for two. This whole entire film, there aren't any. And all the main characters are not good people. And In any tragedy or any archetype, you got to have a balance. In other words, you're going to have a black pill, there has to be both sides. Whereas in this film, the Joker doesn't have Batman. He does have another person who's his opposition, who is the bane of his life. But to tell you that, I would have to give you spoilers, and I'm not going to do spoilers on this one. But I'm going to leave you with the question: what happens if you jump into the abyss and the abyss keeps spitting you back out? It won't give you the peace of non-existence. When your torturer is not the world, but the abyss itself. Normally the abyss is the escape. What happens when the abyss is your torturer, is your tormentor, instead of the ultimate relief? If you go watch the Joker and you observe it, ponder that question. Because in this movie, Arthur Fleck is the child of the abyss, and the abyss won't accept him. Anyway, I'm going to jump off here. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.